This is the Big Chat Small Talk podcast for dynamic, engaged minds who love thought-provoking discussions about big life challenges in an approachable way. Join me, Bernie Bennett,
and me, Louise Anderson, to challenge your own perspective, to share insights and wisdom on navigating life's demands. Let us have a big chat about important issues in a small talk way.
There are no amount of gifts, affirmations, courtesy or kindness you can offer to a person who has already determined they're not going to like you. Learn not to take ownership of their toxic feelings, especially when you know you haven't done anything to warrant that type of reaction. If they're determined not to like you, be determined not to care. Now, I got that off Instagram. I saw someone say that and I just was like, grab, I love that. I absolutely love that. So if we look at the topic today, we're talking about frenemies, a person who pretends to be a friend, but is really an enemy. How many do you have?
I hope zero, but unfortunately, yes, I have had experience with frenemies. And sometimes you spot them quickly or immediately. And sometimes I think relationships or friendships that you've had with people for long periods of time can turn into a frenemy situation. How would you define a frenemy?
I think it's a person that's jealous, someone that may start off as a friend. And as you progress and become more successful, the jealousy sets in. And that's where they're not quite friends anymore. They don't wish you well. They don't want to see you in the limelight. They would rather you be with them, kicking rocks on the streets, and both of you dirt poor rather than one of you actually doing good. Yeah,
that's interesting because I agree with that point as well. And let's bring it back to the envy side of things. Yeah. Because envy and jealousy is a human feeling. It's a human thing. Reaction, we all experience it. But I think with a frenemy, just go back to your example you've used. A frenemy to me is somebody who is your friend but enemy at the same time. Yeah. And interestingly enough is, well, like we referred to earlier, they could be there at the instant. Somebody who just comes into your life and they are immediately a frenemy and you pick it up on it very quickly. Or sometimes it's a little bit more slow pace. It's a friend like you just described.
You've had for many, many years.
Many years. And then somebody changes or somebody grows and then all of a sudden it brings in another dynamic. Yeah, exactly. But I feel like for me, and because I can't say that I've never been envious or never been jealous, but I do feel now, especially where I'm at in life, if you are envious or if you are jealous, use it as a positive. Look at your friend to say, do you know what, you've done so well. I want to do that. Or let's create some synergy so we can work, rather than it being the negative, bringing the other person down. And I think that's what ultimately makes that person a frenemy, because they are trying to bring you down whilst you're trying to raise yourself up. And have you found in your experience that when you were finding success, you were also trying to bring them up too?
Absolutely. If I'm doing well, I want everyone around me to do well. It really is that simple for me. You know, I can't see my friends and my family not doing as well as me. If they say they've got an idea, I'm like, how can I help? It's literally that. I want to be with my friends at the top of, success, and we're all having a ball. I know the saying where they say, keep your friends close and your enemies closer. Yeah, I don't subscribe to that. No way. Once I've spotted that I've got an enemy in my camp, no. I look at myself as fairly an alpha personality. But I surround myself with generals insofar as they will fight my battles for me. I keep friends around, and I really do get rid of the enemy side, those ones that kind of take on that facade very early on. I do not keep them around.
Yeah. And what has been in your situation, like you've just explained, you won't keep them around, but has there been a time where you've discovered a friend to be a frenemy? What's been your kind of take on it? Like, how has that made you feel?
Betrayed, because like I said, for me, I do very much look at the people that are around me and anyone that's close to me. If I'm doing well, they're going to do well. So the idea that you could wish me bad is something that I've just got to get rid of. Yeah, it's not a great feeling.
It isn't a great feeling, is it? No.
I was going to say, have you got someone in mind that you're thinking of?
Well, yeah, I mean, I've had that. I've had the same experience. I've done well in my life in my own way. And I've wanted to bring everybody up. And especially in my culture and my family, it's very community driven.
Yeah.
So when one makes it, the others make it too. And, so even though I've had success in my own way with my career and education and the things I've established for myself, it's kind of like they call it almost like the black tax, especially in black families, especially if you do well, you're helping out the rest of your family. And I've had to definitely partake in that. But what I've noticed, say in some friendship groups and within the family, relatives as well, they're not looking at it like that. They're looking at it as, well, she thinks she's better than everybody else.
Yeah, it does turn into that, doesn't it?
It really, really does.
I don't know why they go down that route, that as soon as you're doing well, you think you're better than someone else.
Exactly.
No.
And it was, for me, I have to say, in terms of personal feeling, you do feel betrayed. But then at the same time, there's also something innate where you still want to try and help that person. You still want to try and bring them up. You're overlooking that negative. But then there comes a point where you have to say, that's it. Enough is enough.
Yeah.
And I've had to do that. I've had to do that a lot recently in my life, only because I've gone through massive change. I feel like I've gone through like a personal growth.
Yeah.
And then with that personal growth, so it's not even measured by money, success or anything. It's just me changing. Some people can't handle seeing that change.
Yeah.
Some people can't see you in another sphere.
Progressing.
And it's a painful decision. I don't think it's ever easy to find out that you've got somebody in your camp that is beginning to
wish you
ill. Yeah.
Daggers.
It's never a good thing.
Do you know, I saw Jordan Peterson do a podcast, and he was looking at how females project this frenemy sort of reaction. And he was saying it comes in the shape of reputational destruction, innuendos and gossip. And they really do seem to go for your character and completely annihilate you when you're not around.
Yeah.
And that's why they can't stay around. They've got to go.
But interestingly, just add in there, if that person is doing that, especially amongst other people who are meant to also be in your camp, are those people in your camp telling you? That's the thing.
No, they're not. See, if I find someone that betrays me, I redefine boundaries to see you differently. I make sure that, because when you have a friend, everything's a go. Yeah. You don't have any boundaries between the two of you. But the moment there's a betrayal, you've really got to set new boundaries and see them differently so that they don't have the opportunity to attack you, if that makes any sense.
So are you saying then that you can remain a friend with a frenemy by taking those steps?
No, I'm going to go back to what I said. Friend close, enemies closer. I don't subscribe. I really don't. I get rid. I really do get rid. Because I do honestly believe that when a person shows you who they are, believe them the first time.
Amen to that.
Thanks for listening to the Big Chat Small Talk with Bernie and Louise.
Follow us on Instagram at Big Chat Small Talk.